The best tax-free living requires only one sheet of paper, a little form, fill in the blanks. And it's really not about a form. It's really about having a business. People have any kind of business, and you don't have to be incorporated. You don't need an LLC or any of that kind of stuff. The IRS just requires one little piece of paper, and you have a business. That's all you need. And look at this article here in the New York Times about how this guy owns private planes, and because of taxes, and that's why there's no such thing as a private jet in this country. Everybody writes it off as a business expense, and that's why this is something like Donald Trump doesn't even pay taxes. That's because of his businesses. He finds a way because as long as you're putting effort in to try to make money, all that stuff that you're trying to do to get a customer or produce a product is a business expense. So you don't have to pay taxes on that money until you make a profit. So that's why I used to be like the dumbest entrepreneur in the world because I never made a profit. What do I want to do that? But see, you can, if your business is going to meet somebody in Hawaii, you write that off. If you have a business in your home or something, there's part of that rent or mortgage and everything, you write that off. If your business is meeting people at the country club, then you write that off, or having dinner with them. And there's part of that you write off too. So that's why even your private jet, because you're using it for business person, you write that off. Nobody pays after-tax money for all that stuff. And it's easy now for the little guy to be like Donald Trump and not pay any taxes because you have a business. Okay, so how do you do that? Okay, here's the form, that you have. And you want, everything is legitimate, and I'll show you how to get, free help, but you don't even need help because this is the form. It's called a Schedule C. You don't need to be an LLC. That's, I think, a waste of time. You want a business, just say you have a business. You start up a different checking account with that name on it, and that's all you need. You're in business. And then taxes, you always pay taxes. And here's the form. This is one page. Actually, the form is actually 2 pages, but you don't even have to do the second page. And what you do on this form is put in the name of your business, what kind it is, and then how much money that came in with the business. And then how much money the business spent. So you had to buy a new computer, then that's a business expense. Part of your house and car and all that is business expense. That's why you could live a lot cheaper by that. And this is why people, and this will never go away, this tax benefit, because all the rich people live this way. They don't buy personal jets. All their private jets are business jets because they would never wait to pay taxes and buy a jet after they pay taxes. No, they buy a jet before they pay taxes. So that's how the government helps them buy a jet. And you could do that with anybody. And there's no magic to this. You don't need an accountant. You don't need a lawyer or a tax expert or things like that. Let's see. So that's the form, Schedule C. And you write that with your 1040. So there's an extra line on your 1040. You bring that over. See, and that's why if you're a stupid businessman and lose money, then you bring down your other income lower and pay less taxes. That's what people do, and they get to the point they pay no taxes. Now, here's a place, if you need help to fill that out, you're a little concerned or whatever about it, you go to your SBDC, that America's, AMERICAS, SBDC.org. They help you with legal problems, tax problems, or anything. Anything that you're trying to make money with. Maybe you're trying to be a real estate investor and you don't know how to do that. Well, you could do that under, as a Schedule C. And they will help you. They'll find you the free help to do that. Don't go to Google and look for accountants and lawyers and all that kind of stuff. No, go to these people. And there's other nonprofits where you live, most likely there are in most cities, that will help you with all that for free. And if you need the IRS help, you go to irs.gov/help. I use them all the time. See, and down here, you'll find all the phone numbers, like for business questions, for individual questions, they have them all there. Now, especially now in tax time, they're going to be crowded and things like that. It may take you 30 minutes or something like that on hold. But what the hell? You wait on hold for 30 minutes. Yeah, you could do that. Yeah. That's better than buying $500. Now, if you stay on this video, I'll show you. I made a recording of me calling the IRS, asking the IRS, hey, how do I write off my home on my taxes, part of my mortgage? And you can hear me talking to the expert at the IRS. These are free. And this is like the horse's mouth. Why go to some accountant or lawyer who's going to charge you $200 an hour to give you this information when you can talk to somebody who wrote the law? That's what you want to do, is talk to somebody who wrote the law. Not has to go study the law and then charges you to study the law. Forget that. You just go talk to the person who wrote the law, because they're free, but they don't advertise. The person who's studying the law and wants to sell that information to you, they're going to advertise. And they're the only people you find in Google. So don't do that. So stay and watch that video of me calling up the IRS. Sure. See, what I do, I just wait. I work along and leave the phone on hold until I hear him. Oh, no, there he is. Okay, now I'll work him. That's it. Get it for free. So why pay when you can get it free?
Hello.
Internal Revenue Service. This is Miss Moeller, ID 1000-349-109. How may I help you, please?
Hi, Miss Miller. Just getting your busy season, I guess.
Get there.
Let me have my speaker on. I think from waiting. I'm employed, but I also have a small business, and I don't know how to. It's not a whole lot of income. How to represent that income on a my individual tax return.
Okay, sir. So if you are self-employed, okay, first off, you know that you're starting with the 1040. Okay, you can't do an easier form. Okay,
Right.
You have to report it, and what you're doing is that you're reporting your income and any expense that you have against that income on the Schedule C or the
That's
Schedule
called a
C Easy.
Schedule C or Schedule C Easy.
Uh-huh. There's some
Why?
questions on top of the easy form. If you answer those questions, you get away with doing a very, very basic form, okay?
I see. Okay.
Okay. And then once you net that out, okay, expense against income, you get a net profit on that schedule, and then you carry that net profit over to line 12 on the 1040
I see.
for business income, and that gets added back into all the rest of your income, and you get taxed at your federal income tax rate.
So in other words, if I made I think it was like $2,500, but I had expenses, I had to buy stuff, to do that, equipment, or I had travel fare. That's where I would put that on the easy form.
Either that or on
on the Schedule C.
Schedule C, sure. And you also may be liable for self-employment tax on that income.
I see. How do I find that out?
Okay. Well, here I can
Okay.
get down a couple real quick questions with you, and this is the way you would pay your share of the Social Security and Medicare tax on that income. Okay. Okay. So if we're talking about income that you would have made in 2012, right?
Right.
Okay. And on the last day of 2012, were you a U.S. citizen?
Yes.
Okay. And are you a member of a religious sect requesting exemption from self-employment tax?
I guess not. I'll make one up, though. No.
You can join. And your filing status, sir? How do you normally file your returns?
Well, I filed joint with my wife, yeah.
Okay. Okay. So if we say that self-employment, independent contractor, something of that nature, okay? So if you grossed about $2,500, how much do you think you're going to be able to net?
Okay, after expenses, I would say about $1,000.
Okay. Okay, and you always have the option to pay more into the Social Security Administration, and the computer tells you that because they think that's your only income. But obviously, if it's not, you don't want to pay more than what you have to. Okay. Did you receive any tip income subject to Social Security or Medicare that you didn't?
No, because I get a salary. On my other job, I get a salary.
Okay. Approximately how much is your wage?
About $60,000.
Okay. Okay, so here's your figure on when you're liable, which you are going to be liable. If you have net self-employment earnings of $400 or more, then you have to pay self-employment tax, and that's reported in the other taxes section of the 1040 on the self-employment tax line. So what you do is that net profit that you carried over to line 12, if you can get away with doing Section A, a short section on the front of the form, okay, you carry that over to line 2 on the Schedule SE.
So SE is the Social Security form, you mean?
Yeah, that's your Social Security and Medicare tax form. And then once you compute it, okay, there's 6 lines on this form. Once you compute your tax, then you carry that tax over to line 56 on the 1040 in the back, and you also get to deduct a certain percentage of that self-employment tax on the front of the form as an adjustment to income.
I see. So I need a 1040, I need a Schedule C easy, and I need that SE. What is that form?
Yeah, Schedule SE. S is in Sam, E is in Edward, self-employment.
Okay, so that's Schedule SE, self-employment. Hence the word SE, huh? Okay, so I need those 3 documents to do this, right?
Right.
Okay. Now I don't have them in front of me, so if I get screwed up and I gotta call you guys again, or am I only allowed one call?
Yeah, one question, one call to a taxpayer, huh? No, really. We're here from 7 to 7 Monday through Friday. Time you call small business, and if you get stuck on any of the forms, you make sure you call us.
Okay. Now, is there one other thing what happens? Like, say, if I follow your instructions and the IRS gets it and they say, "Oh, this is wrong," and they're going to penalize me, and I sort of feel I did what you said. How do I fight you to pay this?
Well, you know what? I mean, for self-employed individuals, okay, if your Schedule SE is wrong, they correct it for you. If your Schedule C is wrong, you'll get a notice. But they're real picky about self-employed individuals, okay?
Yeah.
When you file the Schedule SE, it runs through a computer program, and believe me, they'll just correct it if you're wrong.
Yeah. But if there is a penalty involved, in other words, if I get the information I think is right from you guys, and I put it on the tax form, and then it comes back and, "Oh no, this is wrong," and they assess the penalty, or
well, anything before the due date of the return, they can't penalize you. Okay. So if you file early enough and there is an error, okay, they can't do anything to you. But I'll tell you what, ultimately, regardless what we say, it all boils down to what you put on the return, okay? It's always going to be your fault.
I can't.
Sorry. I shouldn't say that to you, but believe me, that's the way it's going to be.
I understand. That's probably right. But
you can always fight it, too, because you can tell them it's IRS error,
I see. So that's a case, and I could call up and go to the taxpayer. Isn't there an advocate or something?
Yeah, there's always an advocate for that. There's always a form for it too. Okay.
Yeah.
If to file and claim.
So I could do that. Fight the penalty that way by either going through the advocate or there's of course you got a form for fighting you guys.
Oh, sure. I mean, the form 843. That's to get any type of penalty abated.
What is that form again?
Form 843.
843, and that's to get any penalty abated.
Yeah, any type of a charge that they give you, okay, you can always fight by filing a formal claim, certainly.
And then if that doesn't work, then I could go to the advocate folks?
Well, certainly.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's terrific. Well, you guys, I guess, and you're a lot cheaper than H&R Block, aren't you?
Yeah, wait till you start doing it. But believe me, sir, if you get away with doing the Schedule CEZ and the Section A on the Schedule SE, they're very, very basic. So, you should breeze right through it.
Okay. Well, that's reassuring, and I appreciate your help, and thanks for being there for us.
Well, sure. You have a great day.
Okay, thank you. Bye now.
Bye-bye.